Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first live of the meteorological autumn. And it's a bit of a weird one tonight because it's just myself and Paul and Hello Autumn from the new banner behind me. So, yes, me full screen tonight. So, it's a bit of a weird one, as I said. And I'll just put the banner on the screen. Roll something across the bottom there. So, yeah, Paul was out chasing it a short time ago. He's not long got back, and he said he might pop into the comments very shortly. So, let's scroll down across the bottom. So, Paul, you might see Paul heading to the comments very shortly. So, let's have a look who's in this evening. Good evening to Laura Johnson, who's with us, and also Steffi. Also, Audio Coffee's with us this evening. And the storms, we'll have a look at the very latest in just a moment. Who else is with us? Feel free to say hello if you're in the comments. I'll read them as and when. So I'll say quite a quick live tonight. As I said, it's just myself tonight. Paul's not long got back from his storm chase earlier on, which said he had quite a lot of liquid sunshine. So he might pop in the comments very shortly. So let's have go straight onto the screen share and have a look at the latest radar. There have been a few storms around this afternoon. So let's have a look at the latest rainfall. This is from netweather.tv. Let's take myself off the screen there. So here is the latest radar from netweather.tv. And we've got plenty of rain affecting parts of northern England into parts of Scotland. Some of this is on the heavy side. We'll check the lightning detector in just a few moments. We've got another area of rain coming through northern England. Let's have a zoom in at this. So some of this rain, especially sort of like towards the east of Glasgow, looks quite heavy. We'll have a look at the lightning detector in just a second. It's like the possibility of might be a thunderstorm to the east of Glasgow. I'll have a look in a second. But there's heavy precipitation coming through northeast England, up through around the Lake District as well. We've got some more heavy rain or showers affecting parts of Lancashire, the Greater Manchester area into North Wales. These could have the odd dribble of thunder. We'll have a look in just a moment. Don't know, there could be maybe some hail in that. There's a few whites appearing there. Oops, don't want that zoomed in a bit further for. There's a few more showers on the English-Welsh border there. As we head towards the south, we've got more heavy showers across Devon, parts of Somerset as well, going into the Severn Estuary. Let's have a scoot across the south there. There's a few more coming out of France as well. Also, there's a cell between Calais and France at the moment. And I think that's it as I speak. Let's go straight onto the light detector. Just try and close this tab and open this one instead. So this is the latest light detector, and it's quiet as a dodo across the UK as I speak. So these heavy showers are not developing any lightning strikes at the moment. Zoom out. Any lightning in Europe is across parts of Austria and Switzerland. There's a few over the Pyrenees as well, and one or two across Spain. But at the moment, the UK is looking very quiet. So there's been a few thunderstorms out today. Liz was towards Worcester earlier on when she was live, getting the line that was coming up from the south here earlier on today. Paul, I think it was around the Pennines, maybe into East Lancashire. I think Gordon might have joined him earlier on as well. But I believe I don't think they got anything there. As I mentioned, they got plenty of, as we call, liquid sunshine. So there's been a few rumbles. There has been some thunder around today. But again, storm season 24 has just been a whole disappointing hole. Let's have a look at the comments at the moment. Good evening to Lee Stevens, who's joined us. And Rachel's just snuck in there. Looking nice and yellow there. And she's snuck in on the yellow submarine tonight. Spent the last few minutes dealing with the Virgin box. Well, funny enough, actually, you should mention that, because I don't know if you've had the same problems. It seems like ours has been in and out for the last few days. Because I'm with Virgin as well. So I'm hoping it doesn't play up while we're live tonight. I just don't know if the box just needs a reboot or what, unless Virgin Media have actually got issues. I'm guessing maybe nationwide. I thought just my area. But we shall see. Hopefully it runs smoothly for the rest of this live. Which, as I said, I think probably up to about an hour tonight. As I said, it's just me, myself, and I. So where do we go to next? We will actually take a look at the announcement that was... Get my teeth in. We'll have a look at... Oh, hello. The storm names that was released from the Met Office earlier on this week. I shall bring that onto the screen right now. Hopefully it should cover my face. So these are the storm names for the 24-25 season in association with the Met Office, Met Area, and the Royal Netherlands Meteorological Institute. So these are the storm names for 24-25. So our first one for this year will be Ashley. I say Ashley. And the B will be Bert. Why Bert? Connell and Dora, Eowyn, Floris, Gerbin, Hugo, Izzy, James, Kaylee, Lewis, Mavis, Nisha, OTJ, Poppy, Rafi, Sayuri, Tilly, Vivian, and Ren. The 23, 24 names we got as far as L, which was Lillian, which was only, I think, last week. So the big question is, will we get past L this year? Or could we have any name storms at all like we nearly had in, I think it was 22, 23, where the two named storms were actually named in August of last year. So I wonder what this year will bring. If I was to have a guess right now, I don't think it'd be as busy as last year. My first instinct, I reckon, perhaps go up to about a G, maybe Gerbin. But I'd say it's far too early to say yet, but that's going to be my guess at the moment. I think we might go up to G by the time we get to end of next August. So let's have a look at the comments. Just pop my head in. Audio Coffee said I ditched the Virgin 4 years ago. Best thing I ever did. Now my interwebs has speed. I think it depends on your area as well. So I think I was, when I lived at my old place, I think we was with BT, and they were just rubbish. Absolute rubbish at where I used to live. So the UK, so there's different name groups for the storm name season for the 24-25. Other countries do it as well across Europe. These are the other areas we've got. So obviously we're in the western side, so this will be of Met Office, Met Heron from the island, and KMI from the Netherlands. Then there's another name group for the southwestern region, which is Spain, Portugal, France, Belgium, and Luxembourg. So if a storm is going to affect those areas, they'll name their own storm. And if it's the case where that storm heads up towards the UK, then the UK will take that. Let's put myself on the screen there if I can. No, I can't because it's an image. So yeah, if this say, for example, the storm affecting Spain, then move up to the UK later on, we will adopt that name, which was released by Spain or Portugal. And the same again for the northern name group, which is Denmark, Sweden, Norway. Is that the three? Yep. Because Finland's not part of that, so the naming group is Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. So if it was the other way around, where perhaps something was affecting them, then head towards the UK, we'll adopt their name as well. So a comment there from Audio Cover. My dad's girlfriend's name is on that list. Been waiting for that for ages. When she goes shopping, she's got a habit of knocking things off the shelf. She hasn't got a name called Clumsy, really. Evening, Michael. Still in the yellow warning zone through tonight into tomorrow for possible thunderstorms. Yes, Joe, I'll bring it up on the screen next. I'll just take the image off. Good evening to you, Scott, by the way. So these are the storm names for this year. So at least I've got them to save now, so we can always have a look at the next name. So I should have moved for the National Hurricane Centre, which I might do actually. So let's have a look at the UK weather warnings. Helps if I actually show the tab instead of flicking straight over to it without doing so. Where's that tab? There it is. I'm just noticed that's 10 of you watching my ugly face on the screen. So good evening to you all. So Rachel's in the yellow area. Seriously, she's She's terribly clumsy, and my dad took to walking behind her in the cinema to put stuff back. Oh dear, she's really that bad. Tried to own one has mobility scooters this year and just keeps crashing into everything. So this is the Met Office warning. Is that for the rest of tonight? So there's a yellow thunderstorm warning. We have seen some storms already today. So through late afternoon and evening, areas of heavy showers and thunderstorms are expected to move north across parts of England, Wales, and later into Scotland. The extent of these thunderstorms remains uncertain, and whilst many places will miss them, some places may see 30 to 40 millimetres of rain fall in less than an hour, and perhaps 60 to 80 in one or two places. Frequent lightning and hail will be additional hazards. So as we checked the radar about 5 to 10 minutes ago, there is actually no lightning at this moment in time across the UK. So there is also a warning out for tomorrow. That covers parts of eastern Scotland, parts of southern Scotland as well, northeast England, through much of England and Wales, really, away from western Wales and the southwest and south coast of England. So this is valid from midnight, well, it's valid through the whole of Monday. So Monday, and areas of heavy showers and thunderstorms are likely to be ongoing from overnight and expected to continue to affect parts of the UK through the day. The focus for thunderstorms and impacts is expected to generally move east later in the day. The extent of these thunderstorms remains very uncertain, and whilst many places will miss them, some places may see 30 to 40 millimetres of rain fall in less than an hour, perhaps over 60 to 80 millimetres in one or two places. And again, frequent lightning and strikes from hail will be additional hazards. So it's a broad area under thunderstorm warning. There is a lot of uncertainty, but the air has been destabilized. So it's just that risk there that some of these showers will turn thundery. Let's have a quick check back over. So yeah, latest at the moment, there's still no lightning strikes across the UK as we speak. So where do we look at next? We'll have a look at the National Hurricane Centre. Let's go over there and have a look at what's happening across the pond. Then we'll start moving on to the UK weather forecast. So let's just flip that over to 7-dayer because there's actually more than 2. So currently within the Atlantic, we've got 3 disturbances. Let's start with the 2 yellow ones first. So disturbance number 1, a broad area of low pressure just offshore of the upper Texas coast continues to produce some disorganized shower and thunderstorms activity near the coast of Texas and Louisiana and over the adjacent waters of the northwestern Gulf. This system is expected to meander near the coast for the next couple of days, and some slow development is possible if it remains offshore. By Tuesday, the system is forecast to move inland and further development is not expected. Regardless, heavy rains could cause some flash flooding across portions of coastal Louisiana and upper Texas coast during the next couple of days. And the formation chance of the next 48 hours and 7 days is both at 10%. So nothing really expecting to form from that. And disturbance number 3, a tropical wave over Western Africa is forecast to move offshore by Monday. Thereafter, environmental conditions could support some slow development of this system throughout the week, while it moves slowly westward or west-northwestward over the eastern tropical Atlantic Ocean. Formation chance in the next 48 hours is 0%, and the formation chance in the next 7 days is 20%. So there's a possibility, I think, during this week, that's maybe by next weekend, there could be some development of this, But if that's the case with that track there, it might just take that to the central Atlantic. But we shall see. More significantly, disturbance number 2. Uh, show activity associated with a tropical wave located several hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles has changed little in the organisation since yesterday. The disturbance is expected to move westward and reach the Lesser Antilles on Monday, then cross the eastern Caribbean Sea on Tuesday. Environmental conditions are forecast to become more conducive for development while the system moves across central and western Caribbean Sea during the middle of and latter parts of the week, and the tropical depression could form during that time. Regardless of development, this system could result in some gusty winds and locally heavy rainfall over portions of the Lesser Antilles on Monday. And the formation chance for the next 48 hours is at 10%, and the next 7 days is at 40%. So that's something to keep an eye on during this week, especially if it heads up towards the Gulf there, and if something forms there in the Western Caribbean Sea. If it managed to get through the Yucatan Peninsula and into the Gulf of Mexico, well, at the moment there's very warm, if not hot temperatures across the Gulf of Mexico. That could really trigger something very quickly, maybe into a tropical storm or hurricane. But we shall see as the week progresses. Let's have a look at the chat, see if anything's happening. I mean, happening. Everyone else is coming. That yellow warning should be, we don't know where, but it's there, and we're covering our backsides. You're virtually right there, to be honest, audio. Yeah, that pretty much sums up a yellow warning when it comes to storms because they can be very local and isolated. That is very true. Which means tomorrow I'll be paranoidally checking the weather for every 2 minutes on local weather webcams. I wouldn't go that far, maybe every half an hour or so if you wanted to. Good evening to James, who's joined us this evening. Good evening, my friend. Okay, let's go back on to. Let's go back onto the National Hurricane Center. So that is latest on the tropical Atlantic side. So let's have a look at the Eastern Pacific, see what there is. And there's absolutely nothing, no disturbances. So tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. So now the Eastern Pacific has gone quiet. Let's have a look at the Central Pacific. And we've got Hone, I think that's how you pronounce it, to the northwest of the Hawaiian Islands. So let's click into Tropical Storm Hone. That is currently not moving very fast. So the next few days, currently the maximum sustained wind is at 40 miles an hour, moving west and northwest at 40 miles per hour. But looks like in the next 24 hours, this is really due to slow down a hell of a lot, then push further north. I'm not too sure what these islands are located here. There's a tropical storm. Watch out for those islands. I have absolutely no idea what those islands are, but these are not Hawaii. And as we head a bit later on in the week, Tuesday is expected to weaken to a tropical depression as it moves north, then be post-tropical by the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday. So I said I have absolutely, unless you know what those islands are, I have absolutely no idea. But it's literally like the middle of nowhere by looking at that, isn't it? So that is the tropical That's based on the tropical side. So hello again. Where do we go to next? Checking on the latest light detector, nothing still. So let's have a look at the UK facts charts. Just get that ready on the screen. Sorry about this. And then we have this when Paul's talking to just get already set up. Right. Latest facts charts from the good old Met Office. So this is from 6 p.m. tonight, and we've got a very shallow, unstable low pressure sat over coming up from the UK. It's currently centred over southern England as we speak. We've got a couple of troughs, one off into the Irish Sea just there, and we've got another one which affecting parts of northern England through into Wales, down into Normandy. So there's those rain or showers affecting those areas. I've also got a little one just affecting the Kent coast as well. We did show on the radar a short time ago as well. So what happens with this in the next 12 hours or so? By midday tomorrow, we've got a little system. Sorry, we've got a weather front coming into the southwest of England. We've also got that trough affecting parts of northwest England, North Wales, up through into Scotland. We've got a cold front coming into Ireland as well. So the reason why the broad area of yellow of thunderstorm warnings, anything could actually break out in this whole area here. So there's still a bit of uncertainty with some of the computer models. Let's move that forward to 36 hours. And again, there's plenty of weather fronts around the UK. Some of this rain or showers will perhaps be at the risk of the rubber thunder as we head into midnight into Tuesday. And on these weather fronts, things will be more destabilised as we've got a mess of weather fronts coming across the UK. Again, these risk of rain or showers. We do actually have pressure trying to build in from the west, try to turn things more settled. That's into Wednesday, and as we get into Thursday, we start to pick up a bit of more of a east to northeasterly there, but higher pressure is starting to take over the UK. So let's have a look at the latest UKV, see what this is suggesting before we go on to the GFS model. Fortunately, we've got those lovely banners I love to see. So precipitation rate. So this is the latest from the UKV. See if I can clear this for good. So let's move that forward up to 9 o'clock. So this is still showing some showers parts of northern England, and that line that was showing across the south there coming into South Wales. So what happens overnight? The UKV seems to develop it more possibly into thunderstorms or heavy rain across western Wales. Perhaps going into parts of Cumbria. What's wrong with tonight? Cumbria. And as we head through into 6 o'clock in the morning, we've got some showers offshore there towards eastern England. got some heavy rain coming into Scotland as well. Heavy rains coming out of Wales since the Irish Sea, perhaps clipping or coming over the Isle of Man. A few showers out onto the England-Welsh border. Let's move that forward through to 9 o'clock. That rain off East England looks like it could come inland, but to parts of northeast England into southeast Scotland. These potentially could be thundery. Some heavy showers coming out of Wales into parts of the Liverpool area. Again, the risk of thunderstorms can't be ruled out. That pushes up through the Fylde coast and heading towards the Pennines. Again, some more heavy showers like perhaps developing there for parts of West Wales. And does this show much stormage through the day? Some showers breaking out. I'm not convinced actually of any thunderstorms at that stage. If they are, they're going to be very isolated. This is showing some showers towards parts of Wales into the West Midlands, but I'm not convinced these will be thunderstorms. Then again, I could be wrong. These showing these heavy showers overnight into Tuesday morning as well, crossing the country. So let's just give me a second. Let's have a look at the GFS. Have a look at the cable and lifted charts for that. Right, so let's have a look at the cable and lifted charts for the GFS 12Z. So this was 6 p.m. this evening and showing a little bit of cape there towards the south. And it's come and gone. There was some rumbles of thunder down towards the south earlier on. I think that's the one that Liz was chising. What's wrong with tonight chasing earlier on? Well, I can see why they've died a death because there's not much cable lifted at the moment overnight. Let's see what this brings for tomorrow. And it's very limited, very not even marginal, to be honest. I can see why some computer models are not suggesting any thunderstorms at all. I think the Met Office, looking at that, could be very on the very cautious side. With this cable lift has been shown here by the GFS 12Z. I wouldn't be convinced of anything happening. And as we head later on into the week, this is when high pressure starts to build across the UK and the risk of any storms, if there is any risk of storms, which I don't think there will be, diminishes. Friday, I think some computer models were showing a bit of instability coming through on Friday. Let's have a look at the precipitation. So there's that coming up from the south again. So we should see later in the week. There's a bit of cable lifted there. There could be some thunderstorms maybe coming up on this run from the GFS 12Z. But I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of uncertainties as we head later on in the week. That brings in a pulse of maybe risk of thunderstorms there on Saturday as well. So let's have a look at the pressure trends for actually with this latest GFS run. So the current setup, we've got high pressure towards our northeast, got high pressure sat just out into the Atlantic, and we've just got a bit of this unstable air across the UK, sending back a little low through into tomorrow as well. We've still got high pressure towards our northeast. We've got high pressure trying to move in from the southwest. Eventually, the high pressure does start to win out and sends a ridge across more northern areas. But this GFS run keeps the air more unsettled towards the southeast. So I can see why this is suggesting it's throwing up some weather fronts up from the south. So we've got low pressure set towards the southwest on this setup. Again, we'll be throwing up some thundery showers up, and that stays there through into next Sunday and Monday. So that disturbance area moves into central Europe. Then in a bit of cold air between high pressure towards the northeast and southwest, low pressure towards the west and the east. And eventually this, it's a bit of a nice deep low trying to come in there from the west. So in today's 11 and 12. If that was to come off, that's a proper dartboard low there. So if that was to come off, we could be looking at our first name storm of the season. So bring from quite a gale force, if not severe gale force winds. Let's have a look at the upper air temperatures with this as well. So we've got the 15-degree isotherm coming across the UK at the moment. So this is why it's feeling very muggy and humid. Temperatures tonight will be sticking around the mid-teens across much of the UK. So eventually that cooler air does come in from the west through into Tuesday, stabilising the air a bit more, hence why the thunderstorm risk, if any, is moving more or less for Tuesday. And we've got a bit of a northwesterly flow there before start to pick up a bit easterly. But yet this brings in the 15-degree isotherm in from the east, which is not very often we see. And that low towards the south, it's bringing that hot air around, let's say, all the way from the Mediterranean, to be honest, around this low pressure. And we're heading to days 10 and 11. There's still a bit of warmth towards the east. Then we're seeing these colder upper air temperatures set towards the west, and we're seeing some blues there towards Greenland. We're definitely seeing the autumn kick start to come in there. And there's that low. What's that low originating from? Could that be something developing later on? No, that's what's coming out of Canada. So you've got that very cold air in today's 10-11 coming out of Greenland. We've still got this warm from clear towards the south, got a big pressure gradient there. So if I was to look at the jet stream, no doubt that would be turning quite powerful, I would say. Yeah, quite a strong jet stream coming out of there with that temperature difference between the North Atlantic. So there's that cold plunge coming down, meeting the tropical air, and it's just going to fire up that jet stream. And that low then spin up and be quite deep. That's a long way off yet, but we'll have a look at the wind speeds anyway with this. So I think it's right towards day 10. It wasn't, it was actually 14. So there's that low coming in. Not as strong as I thought it would be, to be honest. So if that was to come off, we're looking at wind speeds of about 30 to 50 miles an hour across the UK. But that's a long way off, and I'm looking at Fantasyland now with the GFS. Let's look back at the 6 o'clock run from this morning from the GFS and take a look at the Cape Unlifted, see if that has changed from this morning's run. So through tomorrow, that was suggesting perhaps a little bit through parts of the Midlands into North Wales through tomorrow, but on the latest run, that seems to have diminished. Does this have shown that more unstable air coming through end of the week? Perhaps a little bit there into the weekend. So maybe that was suggesting that, well, that low pressure towards the southwest throwing up some weather fronts. And that looks promising if that was to come off next week. A lot of instability across the UK. See if that was to come off. No doubt the team will be out chasing. Because we know there's going to be trigger down there because that low pressure set towards the southwest. We take a look at the sea level pressure charts that show that low there, which it is. So we could have a better repeat performance of this weekend, but that seems to be much better than what we've got currently. So a little bit of disturbance we've got right now. Then we've got pressure building up from the southwest. Almost like joining forces what's there towards the northeast. But then we'll have that low pressure forming again towards the south over in Biscay. And these will start throwing up some weather fronts from this morning's run. So around the top of here, we've got the air originating from the Mediterranean. Again, the upper airs will be quite high across eastern areas with the 15-degree isotherm. Then actually, as that low starts to move north, this actually shows a bit of a northerly plunge there, actually. So we'll have the warm and humid air across the UK through the weekend. And this is actually showing we're going to tap into some of this colder air coming down from Iceland. With quite a strong northerly wind, actually. So could that be our first cool blast of autumn already? So high pressure tries to build in during that time. And also we've got another little area of low pressure moving down towards the southeast. So that's a bit of a cold run from the GFS, actually, as we're heading to days 10, 11, and 12. So let's have a look at the ground temperatures, the surface temperatures, actually. So on Thursday, depending on how much sunshine there is, up into the low 20s, 21, 22. Then as that humid air comes in from the east, southeast, temperature up into the mid-20s. And again, for days 7 and 8, up again in mid-20s. Then I think it's days 10 where we start to see that northerly coming in. So start to see the first signs of that cool air coming down from the north. So day 9, we're looking around about 21, 22. And as we start to pick up that northerly, wow, in the space of a day, we're actually dropping the temperature by a good 10 degrees. So if this is correct from the GFS, for parts of much of England and Wales from about the low 20s, around 20 to 23, 24 on Monday. Tuesday will come out as 12 to 15 degrees tops. And some northern areas struggling to get into double figures. Temperatures that low, especially across the Highlands of Scotland, could we actually see our the first snowfall of the season. Let's have a look at the. Can't believe I'm doing this at the start of September. As I've got the precipitation type. Will we see any pinks forming? Bit of sleetiness there, maybe. If this was to come off. And we are seeing a bit of pink there, actually. So if this was to come off, could the Scottish men see their first bit of snow of the winter, of the autumn? But let's not dwell on it too much, because there was a bit of this between the two. So I'm just going to go back over to your comments, see what's been happening in the last 10 minutes while I've been jabbering on. Frog Legs Matthews joined us. A quick hello as I'm away at the moment. Wishing you all the best for the live stream. It's been mainly dry in Plymouth today. And I think you've had storms not too far away from you, I believe, Matthew. What's going on? And Paul's in the live chat. Good evening, my friends. A wild storm chase appears now. I've dried off. Yes, a proper dartboard low. That's referring to that low pressure at the end of the GFS 12Z run. And if it was to be named, it'll be Ashley. I say Ashley. Did anyone get any storms today? Next question. Paul's not too happy because I don't think he got anything today. Not that I'm aware of. Who said he was going? Thank you, Matthew. I know you're not watching now, but if you're watching on playback, thank you for coming in. Good evening to Ben, who's joined us as well. And I'm guessing audio of one flash of lightning, 3 rumbles of thunder. That was it. Is that all similar, or was that from today? I'll be in Morocco Monday night. Oof. I can't go with those temperatures over in Morocco. I'm guessing like in the upper 30s. So this is where it scoots up the continental air and thrown it over the UK. Yes, this air has kind of come from the near continent. It's just that a stable air being brought across the UK. I feel like human sacrifice burn up mock fish at the top of Pendle Hills to appease the weather gods. "30 degrees in Morocco this week." Oh, it's not as warm as I thought it would be, but at least it's still quite warm, if not hot. Hardly worth getting excited for, but didn't stop me from surface storm watching. I'm just trying to think when last time I had a thunderstorm here. It's been that long. I can't remember the last time I had a thunderstorm here. Could it have been May? Good evening to UK Weather Forecast. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, I can't seem to speak. It's meant to be 25 degrees, but they upgrade the temperature. I'll have a look at how long are you there for, Ben? Hope you have a nice time. If when you're coming up past through Spain and Portugal, can you bring up a Spanish plume as well? So yeah, let's come off this now. Stop sharing that tab. We'll be looking at. We're going to have a look at the 12Z of the. Oh goodness! Press the wrong button. I meant to Flip my tabs across, but it didn't work because I pressed the wrong button. That's why. So let's have a look at the ECMWF from the 12Z run from today, Monday to Monday. So have a nice, enjoy your week across there. It's a break from work, and it's a break from this country, really. The only thing more terrifying than a full-on thunderstorm would be my neighbour's kids find their karaoke machine and every dog in the area howling. Here, is it that bad? Just as well, the X Factor isn't on anymore. You have a new subscriber. Thank you so much. Oh, hang on, that's just went up. I'm trying to tap into it. It keeps moving up the chat. You have a new subscriber. Thank you. What a forecast. I'll take a look at your page either later on this evening or tomorrow. Scott, I haven't been blessed with much storm action over our neck of the woods, Michael. Quite disappointing, really. I've said many times, storm season 24 has just been an absolute, well, it's been absolute shite, if I'm perfectly honest with you. It's been appalling this year for storms. Absolutely horrendous. There it was on March the 1st with a live stream with Gav. Looking forward to storm season 24. And we didn't get as many April showers, which some of them can be quite thundery as I thought it would, but also it set the scene for the rest of the year. May wasn't too bad. There was some nice storms out. Some of the team were out through May. We did a couple of live streams through May where the team was out streaming. And we was live on here through the afternoon. I think we did a good 8-hour live stream, I think, on those days, so 8 to 10 hour live stream. But since about May, we don't really have much at all. Might have with the odd rubber thunder or two, but storm season 24 has just been null. I'm going to null and void it and get rid of storm season 25. No, I didn't record because the level of ear bleeding it would have generated from both the editor and listener. I bet it'll pick up soon. Storm season 24. Well, it depends what happens next week. If the GFS is right on that, well, I've got ECMWF in a second. If we do get another shot of what we got now, but even better, then we could have a nice ending. But after this year, I'm not too hopeful. So let's have a look at the ECMWF from the latest run, 12 o'clock this afternoon. So this is the sea level pressure chart. I've got us on full screen. Yes. So again, we've got high pressure out towards the northeast, high pressure just out to the Atlantic, and a bit of an unstable air mass as we speak, hence why there's been a few thunderstorms around today. Nothing too major. Then low pressure, that little low sat across the UK through into Monday. And there'll be a few weather fronts crossing the country on Tuesday, perhaps bringing a few showery breaks, turn things a little bit cooler. Then this brings up the Azores high from the southwest, as the GFS has been doing as well, into Thursday as well. And as we head into Friday, this seems to have getting like a little low developing towards the southern North Sea, which is slightly different compared to what the GFS is doing, because GFS was developing it towards the Bay of Biscay. So what happens on Saturday? So a bit of a discrepancy here. The ECMWF 12Z has that low instead of through Biscay up towards Denmark. We'll be bringing a northeasterly airflow. So unlike the GFS, which was bringing the air round up from the Mediterranean, coming in from the east in this direction, we're more getting like a northeasterly coming off the North Sea. So look, probably suggest that would be more cooler coming off there. Yeah. Thunderstorm wise, I'll say it's more or less likely we could get some rain or showers coming in off the North Sea, but I don't expect that to be thundery. Then the ECMWF does actually bring that low westwards across into the Benelux area. So heading to next Sunday. Then that seems to fill. We've got high pressure still across the UK. There could be some showers affecting the southeastern areas through and into days 9. And that low seems to have fizzled out or just moved off into the central Europe. We've got under slack area of high pressure across the UK into days 10 and 11 as well. We've got low pressure out towards northwest. We've got high pressure building across Greenland into Iceland as well. So the wind, I think it's trying to still come in from the northeast as we head into days 10, 11. So a bit of a difference there between the ECMWF and the GFS, where the GFS has, if I go back onto the, if I just go into the GFS 12Z, let's just bring that back up onto the screen and that fall through to Sunday and share it. So on Sunday, the GFS 12Z has that low sat towards the southwest of the UK over Biscay. The ECMWF has that low further east into Benelux. So there could be some heavy rain, as I mentioned, perhaps rain or showers. I'm not expecting any thunderstorms to come out, more perhaps heavy rain. So it's just that position of where that low sits. If it sits towards Biscay, there's more of a chance of maybe some thunder rain coming up from the southeast, from the south. But in this setup, everything's coming off more of the North Sea. So there's less likely for any perhaps thundery potential. So I'm just reading through your comments there. So, who knows? September does sometimes give a bit of a blast off heat. Yes, I don't think it'll be as hot as last September, where I think it was for 7 consecutive days, 30 degrees was reached somewhere in the UK, and that was the first time that's ever happened. I do not see that happening again this year. I hope it is stormy soon. Let's see what next weekend brings. There's a bit of discrepancies between the two main computer models. I just want one absolutely stir crazy thunderstorm. I'll be happy. I'll be sorry, but I'll be happy. I think I'll be the same. I love thunderstorms, but seeing the lightning strike does actually make me jump sometimes. Because again, you don't expect it. It's like, oh God, oh hello. Yeah, normally the first 7 to 10 days is dry weather in September. It's normally the first couple of weeks in February, there's more of a chance to see snow in the first couple of weeks in February, I've noticed over the years. So probably about 5-6 years ago, for about a good 10 years or so, I used to book the first couple of weeks off in February, and always when I had that time off, sometime during those 2 weeks, I always seem to get snow during those 2 weeks at some point. All right, just bear with me a second. I'm just going to check flick over across. So I was going to flick over across. Oh, actually, I was about to say there's nothing been detected across the UK, but I've just spotted a few strikes. It looks like towards near. I was going to say Berwick. I'm on the wrong side. No, south of Berwick. There's been a few strikes. I'm just, yeah. I'm just going to bring up the radar from the net weather. So yeah, those couple of light strikes is more likely to come maybe from this area just here. So let me just zoom out of that to give you the latest actually while I'm on it. So it's from this area of rain just here. So the odd rubber thunder can't ruled out again. Got this, you're just about to see a line just here. That is a trough just sitting just there as we speak. Go along the slide, a few runs of thunder can't be ruled out. Been able to hear aircraft taken off at Birmingham today. Not bad considering it's about 12 miles away. Could have been the wind direction was southeasterly. Yeah, that can be the case. A few times today, I've got Stackfold Country Park, which have got like little steam engines, which is probably about it was a mile down the road from here. And a few times I've actually heard the whistles from them, from there, from where I live. So obviously it depends on the wind direction. Just check the Lightning website, and Lightning was Ted Berwick. Yep, that's the one. I've just shown just there, these few white spots or pluses. We'll just zoom out. It's very active there towards south of Germany into, I guess is that Austria or Switzerland? I can't remember which way around it is. Bern, Switzerland. So yeah, that's the other line that strikes across the UK as I speak right now. Right, let's have a look at one more chart. Oh, I'll just turn it off there. And let's have a look at the weekly ECMWF pressure anomalies. Well, if that's loaded up on my screen. So the mean sea level pressure anomaly charts. So yeah, these are the mean sea level. What is wrong with tonight? I cannot speak. These are the mean sea level pressure charts in the weekly anomalies from the ECMWF website. This is from Monday the 2nd of September through to Monday the 9th of September. This has high pressure towards the northeast of the UK and out into the Atlantic, lower pressure across much of Europe. So does that mean there's low pressure across the whole of Europe? The pressure is a lot lower than what you expect at this time of year. Then as we head through into Monday the 9th of September through to the 16th of September, we've got low pressure sat across over the UK, keeping things, turning things more unstable. High pressure, better northern blocking actually, towards Scandinavia, over towards Greenland as well. 16th of September through to the 23rd of September. There could be a transition here where we could about to start to see some Atlantic weather coming in. Then again, we could see pressure building up from the south or coming down from the north. So we could be in a bit of a transition there. Then 23rd of September to the 30th, low pressure sat out towards the northeast. So we could be possibly perhaps in the northeasterly. We can see that on the temperature charts in just a few moments. The 30th of September through to the 7th of October, we've got low pressure sat towards the west, and also we could bring in a southwesterly with this. And we're obviously beyond the fancy realms, and there's no clear signal being shown there, so it could be just average pressure. So it could be, to be honest with you, there's no clear signal, if I'm honest. So let's go back and have a look at the precipitation with this. So the same charts again, but looking at the precipitation across the UK. On the 2nd of September through to the 9th of September, it is wetter than normal across parts of England and Wales, drier towards Scotland and most of Ireland. The 9th of September through to the 16th of September, and much of the UK is wetter than average. The 16th of September through to the 23rd of September, looking slightly wetter across the UK. Average, of course, through central areas and parts of Scotland. The 23rd of September through to the 30th of September, we're looking slightly wetter parts of England and Wales. Same again there for the 30th of September through to the 7th of October. And right at the end, there's no clear signal there at the end of that. Let's have a look at the temperatures. Again, with the same charts. And 2nd of September through to 9th of September, we are looking warmer than average. Let's flip that onto there. So we're looking at 1 to 3 degrees above average for this coming week. The 9th of September through to the 16th, we're looking about average, perhaps a degree above average. 16th of September through to 23rd, we're virtually looking around about average again there across the UK. The 23rd to 30th of September, we're looking slightly above average. And same of the 30th to the 7th of October. And the 7th of October to the 14th is looking slightly above. Right. So look through your comments. Laura Dasher, wish you all good night. I'm very exhausted. Thanks for the stream, Michael. You're very welcome, Laura. Thank you for joining this evening. Paul's saying quite average then, so that's looking at those ECMWF charts. Right. And I think that's more or less everything covered for this evening. Just tab it off there, So yeah, just gonna have a look, see if any updates on the line detector. Notes are still them two there. So virtually the whole of the UK is quite one of the 2 strikes to south of Berwick. Yeah, and we'll think we'll end it there in just a couple of minutes. Briefly popped in, I've shuttered, I'll say goodnight from, and it's goodnight from Paul. So thank you so much for joining this evening on this live stream. And depending if the GFS is right, it could be a good chance for next week. If the ECMWF is right, then it's probably less likely to see any stormage for next weekend. And let's see what the models suggest in the next few days. Fingers crossed that the GFS is right, but we shall see. So I'm going to skip that comment from Steffi, which I'll come to in just a second. It's really the last thing comments. Thank you always, Mark. Catch you next time. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for still watching tomorrow then. Don't hold your breath. There might be a few around. I'm not convinced. But then again, after the season we've had, I've not been hopeful for the last few months. And Steffi has said, does that mean roll the credits? Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to tune into Gav's live stream on Wednesday. I think that might be 6 o'clock. I can't actually remember what time it does live on a Wednesday. It might be the same as it does on a Sunday. And also, Gav will be live next Sunday from 6 p.m. and we'll be live from 8 p.m. And if the GFS is right, we could be live a bit sooner, or doing live storm chase on here. So look out for that later in the week. Thank you for watching. And it's time to say good night and goodbye. And we'll see you again soon. So bye-bye. And thanks for watching. Take care.